Hi. Yes, I just wanted to say hi and present myself as a woman like I always feel inside. I think it's very important and very therapeutic when I can be who I really am inside. Yes, I admit I am transgendered, and I don't believe there's anything wrong with that at all. Actually, I'm very proud to say that because it's taken me many years to come to terms with it. But as I'm getting older, I find, why should I be so threatened anymore? It's not worth it. Life is too important and too short to get caught up in wasting precious time. I love to dress up. I could wear a dress every day if I had the chance. I think it's nice to express this side of me, and I have no shame in it. Why should I? I've lived in the closet all my life. And I feel it's just a beautiful thing to be female. I would love to go out and be a woman for the rest of my life. I have a family. I have a wife and a son. They mean the world to me, and I would never do anything to hurt them. At the same time, I am a girl, and I've always felt this way. I can't help who I am, and I'll never change. I've tried many years to come to terms with this, and it's not an easy thing, obviously. I've been to therapy, I've been to doctors trying to understand why I have these feelings, and to me, I don't know why, but I understand that I've had them since I was a little kid, and I could never escape it, actually. It's something that I'm born with, and I know that, and I would never choose to live a life like this if I could, but this is who I am. I'm a girl inside, and it's plain and simple. There's no two ways around it. Life is not always as simple as we can try to make it. I've been like this for, I would say, my whole life. And it's been hard at times, but the hardest part is to hide it. I don't think it's healthy when you hide who you are as a person. I mean, what's the point? If you're gonna live your life, you try to live it to be happy, you know? You want to be a good person in life. You want to do the right things. You want to make friends. You want to share your experiences. Obviously, to me, marriage was important, and it is very important to me. Family is very important to me. I love my family. I love my wife. I love my son. And my son is a wonderful kid, and I try to help him and encourage him to live life and be strong and to do all the things in life that he wishes to. My son is autistic, and I write about that. And I try to encourage him and teach him to not be afraid. I know that life is not perfect, you know. We're never perfect. I don't know anyone who can claim that they are. And if they do, then I think they're deluded. But for me, when I dress, I just feel internally very happy. And obviously I'm being in touch with my feminine side, my female persona, the girl inside. I've been dressing since a 5-year-old, and when I dress, it's very important to me. I love to wear pretty dresses. I love colorful clothes. This dress is one of my favorites, actually, but I do have similar dresses, and I would say that to me, when I dress, it's coming to express who I am as a person. I'm not doing it for any other reason but to just feel comfortable with myself and to know that deep down in my heart and my soul, I'm in touch with the woman inside of me. And I can tell you, there is a woman inside, and she wants to be out and expressing herself. And I'm all for it. I want her to be happy. I want to be happy as that woman. And to me, being a woman means finally being who I am. I admit that I have struggled with being born this way. I physically present in my daily life as male, but on my internal feel as a person, I always identified as a girl. I've always felt I was a woman inside, and to me, just being feminine means being happy. I equate being feminine as being something that I've always felt inside, and I don't deny that. I actually embrace it. I embrace my femininity, and I'm very comfortable with it. I'm comfortable as a female, and I would do all that I have to transition to become a woman. I'm now considering going on hormones. Actually, I'm looking forward to it. I do go to Callum Lord in the city, and I have started therapy again. I've been in therapy for years, but it's very important that I go back, because as I get older, my needs and internal feeling of being a woman have come to the forefront again. I've dealt with this over the years. I've wanted to transition as early as a teenager. When I was 17, 18, I wanted to be a girl. I mean, I knew I was a girl, but I wanted to transition to become a girl and to live as a girl, but I couldn't for various reasons. Obviously, family was a big issue, and my mom was sick, and just very difficult to even consider it, though deep down in my heart I wanted to. And then in my 20s, I also wanted to transition while I was a college student. I think that would have been an ideal time for me if I would have had that opportunity. But things weren't meant to be. It would have been a wonderful, wonderful time to transition, and I would have been young enough to live a good part of my life as a woman, which is in my heart what I always wanted to do. I have no shame in admitting I am female. I've always known I was a woman, but the hardest part is trying to come to terms with it and accepting it, and then finding acceptance. I have never really exposed my internal struggles with other people, but even if I did, I think they shouldn't condemn me, they shouldn't judge me in a harsh way. Sadly, people have lost their lives because they were trying to be who they are, and society unfortunately does not embrace transgendered individuals as they should. And there's a lot of hostility towards people who express who they truly are. What can I say about being a male to female, transgender, or transsexual? Well, obviously I am pre-op. I am a male to female transsexual. I've known it since I was a little boy who really felt internally he was a female, a girl. But being transgendered is a difficult road to live, because you always feel sad inside, and I cry a lot because of it. I mean, how could you not? When you know deep down in your heart you should be a girl and you should live as a female and wear a pretty outfit and do all the things that girls do, it's not easy. Why would you want to have this kind of a life? Hiding all the time, dressing up only when you can at night or in secret. It's a horrible way to live. But I knew that my dressing was my salvation, and it was helping me to be who I felt inside. Dressing to me was a privilege, and I had to do it in secret. I couldn't tell anybody. I started dressing as a little boy and wearing dresses as I got older, and to me, wearing a dress is the ultimate sign of femininity. And when I'm in a dress and I'm all pretty and decked out, I just feel natural, I feel like this is who I am, and I don't feel any shame whatsoever. Why should I feel guilt? Why should I feel shame? There's no point in doing that. Life is short enough. One day I will not be breathing on this earth. So if I'm going to be happy as a person, I may as well be doing it the way I always felt inside. I may as well be living my life as a woman, as a female, wearing the pretty dresses that I enjoy, putting on the wig that I need right now because I don't have my hair grown. And once I start on the female hormones, I think that I'm going to experience changes that I've always felt I should have from the beginning. Obviously, I want to present more feminine, and I need to have more self-confidence. As I go out, I'm going to be doing more in the line of exploring my femininity outside of the house. I mean, I've lived in shadows. I've lived in secret. I lived in the closet for way too long, and it's not a healthy way to live. I've lived denying my own sexuality as a woman. I am very much a woman inside. I still have an attraction for my wife. I love my wife. I would never do anything to hurt her or jeopardize our relationship. The truth of the matter, though, is that our relationship is tested because of my transgender issues. Obviously, my wife is a normal, healthy young woman, and I admit that my wearing women's clothes regularly and presenting a more feminine appearance and admitting to her that I am a woman really does affect the relationship, and it's not easy for her to deal with this, and I understand that 100%. Same token with my son. My son is a teenager, and he's now starting to experience growing into young manhood. He's a 13-year-old, so I have to be very delicate with how I handle my situation with him as well, because I do not want to confuse him, and I do not want to hurt him, and I want him to be strong. And I know in my heart, even if I present as a woman and I am in touch with my feminine side, my female side, the woman inside, I will still be a loving and caring parent to my son, and I will be always loving towards my wife no matter what. But the fact is, I am a female. I am born with a transgender mindset. I have always felt in my mind, my heart and my soul, I am a girl, though on the outside, the external, I am not. And that is the most frustrating aspect of life as a transgendered individual, because it's hard to come to terms with that fact. Knowing when you want to go out and be the person you are, that society sometimes judges us in a way where they do not understand. They do not know what it is that keeps us in this kind of situation. For me, dressing is very important to my survival. if I had to live my life and be a man all the time, I think it would cause me great anguish and emotional upset. I talk to my therapist on a regular basis, and she knows my situation, and she understands, and she fully supports the fact that I'm transgendered and that I have a need to be who I am as a person. And she says that it's time that I go out and be more comfortable in my skin, presenting as a woman. I am going to a doctor in the city, as I said before, Callan Lord. And Callan Lord is a good facility because the doctors there are very understanding, and they know that we exist as people. We have our own way to express ourselves, and they're non-judgmental. They accept transgendered individuals, just like they accept gay and lesbian and bisexual people. So I'm just one of the crowd. I'm a transgendered individual, and I am trying to live my life as I feel inside. To me, wearing a dress is the pinnacle of my struggles as a young child. When I freely express myself dressed in clothes that more suit me as a person, I feel much happier inside. I feel a need that's fulfilled, and I cannot express the importance of being able to do this. It's very healthy, and it's very necessary. If you're transgendered and you need to be expressive of who you are as a person, you don't want to deny it. I've denied it so long that it made me very sick, and I don't want to deny it anymore. Actually, when I'm dressed, I am at my most happiest time. And for me, to dress means to live, to be, to exist is wonderful when you can dress and live as you are as a person. I've had many times where I was presenting as a male because I need to, I have no choice, but I underdress a lot. When I dress in male clothing, I always wear women's clothing underneath to satisfy my internal needs. The problem with that is I'm still hiding who I am, and I'm not being free. I'm not a free spirit. So when I get the opportunity to shed the male clothing and to wear the dress, the pretty outfit, that's when I'm happy, because I am who I am. I'm a woman, and I've always known that. Not many people know I'm a woman because I don't share that with them. As I'm getting older, I'm finding it necessary to be more expressive of my feminine side. Now, when I say feminine side, I am actually a woman, so I should be 100% feminine. I should be living 24/7, and that's the challenge that I face now, because once I start on hormones, and I am doing electrolysis too, actually, and electrolysis to me is one of the initial steps that you need when you start the process to transition, because electrolysis is a process that's very long, over a year or so, and it's a big financial obligation. But when you get through electrolysis, you have started the journey. And when I started the electrolysis, I knew that I was going to make some big decisions. Electrolysis is very important because it is a way to rid yourself of the hair on the face. When I used to dress, I used to have the remnants of the hair, the shadow the razor stubble, and it's not, it doesn't help you in your self-confidence. I've only dressed in public, very rarely actually. Maybe once or twice I went out to a mall wearing a dress and a wig, obviously. But the experience wasn't really all that helpful to me because I was easily read and I was laughed at. Nobody was kind to my dressing. So I went back into the closet again, and I didn't have that opportunity to go out. So sadly, I had to understand that it wasn't my time yet to go out and explore that feminine side. Now I am at an age where it's very important to me to be expressive. I'm not getting younger, and my life is probably in a stage now where I'm concerned, you know, how long I have left in my life. I lost my mom when she was she was only 50 when she passed. And my dad, sadly, I lost to suicide 3 years ago. And my dad, to me, was my life. I loved my mom and dad very much. They were very good parents. They helped me with all the things that I did in my life. I went to college, and I went to study engineering. I had studied accounting, and they were very supportive in my going to school and graduating, and they backed me up 100%. So they loved me, and I loved them. I loved them also. And my son got the chance to see his grandfather. My father was very good to my son, and my son, being autistic, had his challenges, but my dad never looked at my son in that way. He never judged him, and he never labeled him as autistic. He just called him his grandson, who he loved very much, and he treated him like any of his grandchildren. So my dad was very helpful to my son, and we miss him very much, and sadly losing him to suicide was very devastating, and I sometimes have said things that I should not, but I am coming from a perspective where I'm very different from a lot of people. How can I not admit to that? I mean, I'm a guy wearing women's clothes on a regular basis, or as often as I can. Obviously it's in private, but nonetheless, I have that need to wear women's clothes on a regular basis. But aside from wearing women's clothes, I've always identified as a female. And I could never get away from that feeling. That is part of who I am. It took me years and years and years to come to terms with it. And I still, to this very day, try to find a solution to not have to transition. Why would I want to transition? Why would I want to put my family through this? To me, as I get older and I realize that I'm not that far off probably from my own dying, we're all going to die, but I've come to the conclusion that life is too short to be miserable all your life. I'm not saying that I was miserable my whole life, but a big part of my core was unsatisfied because I could not live it the way I felt inside. I felt kind of like trapped. You don't know what it's like if you feel internally that you're a female. yet you have to wear suits and ties, and dresses are not part of the equation because guys don't wear dresses. For me, that was a very difficult thing to deal with. I'm also coming from the perspective that I've always felt very sad inside when I saw girls that I was acquainted with who got to dress pretty, who wore makeup, who expressed themselves because of their femaleness. For me, I always knew that I had to confront these feelings, and I had to also deny them at the same time. And it wasn't fair in my mind and my outlook of living a life where I knew that being transgendered meant being blocked off from a lot. I think if I could explore the process of transitioning, I would feel much more complete as a person. And I think when I do start the process of transitioning and I take that bold step of going on the female hormones, I think once I start to develop more feminine appearance, that I'm going to feel much happier and better about myself. The problem, though, that I know I will encounter is the resistance and the I'm not sure how a lot of people will react. That is a little bit scary for me. And I'm starting to come out to people, but it's taken me 50 years essentially to start this. I mean, I've never freely talked about this before, but as my feelings intensify and as a result of family tragedy, I think this has put me more in my own way of thinking, something that I have to do. It's a matter for my own survival. I don't like to say that, but I have dealt with depression, and I have come from a background where depression was part of the family. Most of my father had suffered depression, my mother suffered depression and actually lost her life because she lost her will, and she had been diagnosed with manic depression. So I know that it's a very serious issue, but to me, being happy, presenting as a female and wearing dresses and the clothes that I feel more comfortable in, it helps me as a person. Now, I'm also very supportive of my son, and I'll always be there for him and for my wife too. I don't want to lose that relationship with my family. So I have a lot of things I need to work on. As I transition, I also need to keep in mind that my employer, I don't know how they'll react, and it's a little scary, but I need to work, I have to make a living, I need to be able to provide for my family, pay my mortgage, and take care of the things I need to. I also need to be taking care of myself as a person, and that to me is the bottom line.